Well, hello. Here we are, another edition of the Orchid and Kato show. How is everybody feeling today? I'm feeling good. How are you feeling?
Good.
I feel good, man. This is what a weekend of wrestling. I think that, from my perspective, like this was 4 days of some of the best wrestling that I've seen. I mean, the only hole I saw in the whole weekend was the way they started off Raw with Bobby Lashley. And his match, like
Corbin's match.
It was really sort of flat. But I mean, that's me grasping at straws to find something to complain about.
Right.
As far as SummerSlams goes,
it was really great.
It was a good pay-per-view. I mean, really good. Again, me nitpicking. You know, the first match was at 6 o'clock for the pre-show, and it was over at like a quarter after 11. That's a lot of wrestling for one day. But as far as what the quality, I really liked it. How did you feel?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Like you said, it's too long. But, like, what are they... I mean, they have to make every show so long because it's SmackDown and Raw now. It's not like a SmackDown show or a Raw show. They have to make time for all the belts, and they have to make time for, like, storylines to progress.
Why, though? Why do we have to see every guy and every woman on every show?
As a storyline, just to see like that storyline progress is my opinion. I think that you need to see him every week because if you have a week off, you might forget what's going on in their storyline. Yeah. Yes, they could do those packages, but I just don't.
Speaking of packages, I mean we're going to get into it a little further, but the Daniel Bryan and Miz stuff was brilliant in SummerSlam. But I don't know. For me, I just think that. There's an old saying in wrestling, less is more, and always leave the crowd wanting more. That's not just a wrestling thing; that's an entertainment thing. And if you're giving them everything every time, like what do they have to look forward to next?
Yeah.
But I do think, even though it was 5 hours plus, there were certain elements that made you want more from this, particularly this SummerSlam, and that included the way the AJ Styles and Samoa Joe thing played out, the Daniel Bryan and Miz thing, which we're going to talk about. That's our third topic of the day. I thought both of them played out well. I think that there were certainly other elements that really made you want to see more. So well booked, well done.
Yes.
SummerSlam was great. NXT the night before, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I liked the 5-match format. I like the done at 9:30 format. I like the matches. The 5 matches they had were given adequate time to tell the story that they needed to tell. I know a lot of people loved the main event. I couldn't put my finger on why I didn't love it. Like, I've seen other matches with Gargano and Ciampa that were brilliant and perfect almost.
Do you think that it's because you've seen all of that stuff over and over?
I'll tell you why. I couldn't put my finger on it, but a friend of mine from Pittsburgh, Shirley Doe, texted me, and his complaint about it was... And I couldn't put my finger on it until he told me. But they're in the middle of a very long blood feud. And during the match, they're throwing very obvious worked punches. And they're throwing in tons of high spots. If I really hate you, I'm just wanting to punch you in the face and fight you and not do all these cool little spots. Like to me, that's a blood feud, not like just having a random match to wow the crowd. Like you're trying to draw me in to believe that what's going on here is real. You can't set up a long, obviously choreographed spot. So that was my problem with that. But man, oh day, I know you didn't get a chance to see it because you got home late on Saturday. But the tag team match between Mustache Mountain and Roderick Strong, and damn it, I can't remember his name, but. I mean, that match was one of the best tag team matches I've seen in a very long time. So if anybody out there hasn't got a chance to see NXT, I suggest at least taking the time to watch that tag team match. The next thing I want to jump into is the Daniel Bryan and Miz match at SummerSlam, followed up with what happened at SmackDown last night. Do you have any thoughts? First off, on the match at SummerSlam.
I love the match at SummerSlam. I thought it was really great. I enjoyed the way that they ended the match. I enjoyed that Maurice got involved and helped out The Miz with the brass knuckles. I thought that was very clever. I thought the whole, it told a great story.
Thought it was perfect. I mean, if if I would have been booking it, I probably would have booked it very similar. So I loved it.
I loved the yes or the it kicks that the Miz was giving to Daniel Bryan and Daniel Bryan was hulking up. That was clever.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I don't think I've ever seen the kicks. I've seen like the slaps and I've seen like punches, but I've never seen like a kick hulk up. And I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I thought it made sense in the moment. I'm not always a big fan of guys hulking up through moves, but this was Daniel Bryan's yes kicks that Miz was using, and he chose that moment to sort of like F you, you know what I mean? I mean, he really, like, I thought it was a great piece of storytelling. I swear to you, I'm so happy that's going to continue. My preference would be, and I know they won't do this just because this is what I would like to see, but I would love to see before the Royal Rumble, at some point, The Miz win the world title, and then Daniel Bryan finally win the Royal Rumble. That gives us Miz versus Daniel Bryan, the main event of WrestleMania. I mean, I wouldn't be able to ask for more. That'd be perfect for me as a wrestling fan.
I don't think that's going to happen, but...
Would you like that?
Yeah, I would like that.
It would be really nice. Yeah, I don't expect it either, but, you know, what about SmackDown then? They set up this mixed tag match with two women who haven't wrestled in a while, but I don't know how much you remember Maurice wrestling.
I remember when she did the John Cena and Nikki stuff.
Okay.
But
I remember
when I was younger,
liking her before. I thought she had a certain flair and a certain, you know, like it factor even then, you know, 5-7 years ago. So I'm looking forward to this match. I think that, you know,
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, and it's a nice way, no matter what the finish is, that we can continue this feud.
Right.
So it's perfect for me. The next thing I guess we'll talk about, your favorite women's wrestler, Becky Lynch, turned heel at SummerSlam.
Was she? Did she? I don't know if she turned heel at SummerSlam, but I think that she attempted to turn heel last night on SmackDown. I don't think it worked.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that people are going to continue to like her, and I think they turned the wrong person heel.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, Charlotte has a certain dislikability to her face that, you know, why push it? Why not roll with it? I mean, if she works better as a heel, let her be a heel.
Yeah.
Becky clearly worked better as a babyface. Let that happen. You and I could be sitting here 2 months from now and say, well, they made the right call. They were right. This has really worked out well. But right now, today, as professional overreactors that we should be in this role, it feels not like the right move.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't understand. Like, do they not look at the crowd reaction when these people come out every night? Because I mean, Becky Lynch gets one of the biggest pops every Tuesday night. I don't understand why we try to turn her heel.
I don't know. The only thing I can think is maybe if they're smart now, they'll reevaluate things, sort of like they did with Bayley. It seemed like they were going to try to turn Bayley heel, and it clearly was not going to work.
Right.
So they said, well, let's backpedal here a minute and sort out something else. Maybe they'll do that again. Maybe by the time next week rolls around, you know, Becky Lynch will be a babyface again, and Flair will be going the other way. I don't know. I think the matches that the two of them will have will be good.
Yeah.
No matter what they try to.
Yeah,
because,
I agree with that.
You know, there's a certain element of you know, they're both very good at what they do. I just don't think they're ever going to get people to genuinely hate Becky.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're ever going to get people to genuinely love Charlotte Flair. I don't know. So,
I
you
agree with that, yeah.
Last one we're going to talk about tonight. The Bullet Club. Huh?
No.
Too sweet me.
No.
Oh, we're not talking about the Bullet Club?
No.
What are we talking about?
The Shield.
The Shield. Aren't they a ripoff of the Bullet Club? So, yeah, give me the Too Sweet. Okay, so Shield reunites at the end of Monday Night Raw to take on Braun Strowman. What do you think?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
Why?
I don't like, why? Either you're gonna get Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins booed because now they're with Roman Reigns again, or you're gonna try and turn Braun Strowman heel, and like, why?
I don't know. I don't know if maybe they don't see it that way. They're not.
They're
maybe
just
they're
gonna have
not
two
trying.
faces?
they're not trying to create baby faces and heels, it feels like to me anymore. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what they could do to turn Braun Strowman heel at this point, because he generally acts like a heel. Mm-hmm. People still love him.
Yeah.
Because he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
To me, Seth Rollins is the best babyface on television right now, like anywhere. Mm-hmm. And I feel like maybe it holds him back a little bit from where he could go. Mm-hmm. I think it's still, basically, maybe I'm dead wrong. It still comes to the fact they want Roman Reigns to be the number one babyface, and they are willing to do anything to make it happen. And if that means getting in the way of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins to make that happen,
I mean,
Vince is willing to do that.
You're holding those two guys back. I mean, Dean Ambrose came back a week ago, and he got an enormous pop. And he was there SummerSlam and his match last night. Huge pop. I don't, like, why are we burying people that get the pops?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they feel like they're burying those guys, but they're definitely holding them back. And I think it's just in the face of trying to get Roman Reigns over. And I mean, they're trying to push a square peg into a round hole. There's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with Roman Reigns, but clearly people just don't want him.
Right.
So I personally don't have a problem with him, but at the same time, like, why are we trying to force this down people's throat if it's not going to work?
Right.
And that's what they're doing here. That they're doing it again. I completely understand why people don't like Roman Reigns. And I don't know that, like I said before, I don't think it represents it's Roman Reigns particularly. It's just it's what Roman Reigns represents of, well, we know wrestling better than you, so you're going to like who we say, and you're going to boo who we say, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's all it comes down to with Roman Reigns. They're trying to force us to like Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. Do you think it'll work?
No.
What could they do? How about this? What could they do to get you, in particular, to like Roman Reigns?
I think they need to turn him heel for a while and let him naturally turn babyface and not just have him be babyface. I think he needs to be heel and then let the fans, through his actions, start to like him. I think that would help.
Yeah. Do you, a lot of people said the same thing about John Cena for a long time. And at the end of the day, I think they were right to not turn John Cena heel. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure. I think that's the argument they would use up there, is to say, well, we were right about John Cena to not turn him heel.
Yeah.
Wait and see. We're going to be right about Roman Reigns, too.
But John Cena was heel to begin with, right?
Well, so was Roman Reigns, though. When the Shields first came up, they were heels.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And, the crowd really seemed like they wanted Roman to be the babyface until they got him.
Right.
And then they're like, no, we were joking the whole time. We didn't really want him to be the guy. So, I don't know. It's, I just don't see how things are ever going to work out for Roman Reigns to be the guy that Stone Cold or The Rock or Hulk Hogan ever was. Mm-hmm. It's just never going to work. I can't see it.
Yeah.
And, yes, he gets the loudest reaction, boo or cheer, but he's not a merchandise mover. You don't see, a whole sea of Roman Reigns shirts the way you do, in '99 where you see a whole army of Stone Cold shirts.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I don't think it's going to work. Mm-hmm. So, well, I guess that's all we got for this week. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Nope.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you tuning in. Do me a favor. If you like this, give it a share. Give it a little like in the comment section. And we'll be back next Wednesday. Thanks, guys.